Hi, welcome to a strange dream I had. Had two. Um, the first one was about losing a tooth, and it was the son, the son of the son, the little small one, not the big ones. Is it the canine ones? I don't know what they're called. Like not the front, but just in the middle before the big ones. And in the dream, I had a pain. I wobbled it, and it just came out, and I was holding it, and it had red on my mouth here. And I was asking my wife. It was dark. So we ran up to the bathroom to put the light on to see that, yeah, there was the tooth in my hand and there was a missing gap there. But it felt so real. And then I woke up after that. It was about 4 or 5 in the morning. But it felt so real. And then when I went back to sleep, I went into another dream. I didn't think I would actually be able to fall asleep. What I did in this dream was in the house that I'm in, small house. And it was like Christmas time. It may have been the day before, Christmas Eve. And there was flooding everywhere. And it took in the 3 panels of the back fence, and the whole garden was full up of water. And as the dream progressed, I would go out with my camera to video, the street with filled up full of water, watching cars. Yeah, there was the cars that passed me, and then one, I don't know if he was focusing on me or he just wasn't paying attention. He was in this little buggy thing, and he crashed. Was it a red buggy, or he crashed into a red car? He was coming around. He just swerved into it. He wasn't paying attention, but he carried on driving. I walked off then because I didn't want to get blamed, and he carried on driving. He had these marks, just like impact. Not bruises or anything, just like red stuff, when you lean on a pillow type thing. And he carried on driving past. The road, though, it didn't look like the road that's here because it went on for ages. I guess my mind wanted to show me the idea of it. Big flooding. What wasn't clear on was what caused the flooding. I don't remember it raining. I don't remember in the dream seeing rain. But yeah, there was flooding everywhere. We woke up to it. And then I came back, and then eventually the house turned into this hotel with these big steps to the door. And so the flooding got worse, but looked like it was on a hill. So it wasn't covering, it hadn't come up to the steps yet. I guess because my dream wanted to continue the flooding, it had to give me a big house, otherwise the house would be flooded. And then we were letting in people, but the doors didn't work. The front door and the back door didn't lock. So obviously anyone could come in. And there was a point that I remembered when this guy came and he said, "I'm tired." And I said, "Yeah, come on in." In my head, I was thinking about people letting people in because of this flooding. This may be to do with, was it a few weeks ago, the US snow thing? That wasn't to do with flooding, was it? I don't know whether people in hotels were letting people in, or was this maybe watching the day, what's that film called? The Day After Tomorrow, Roland Emmerich. Maybe that film, but that was like before Christmas. Anyway, maybe there was a bit where they were letting people into hotels. It could have been that I was dreaming of, that place, that library. And I kept going out to film outside the streets with the water filling up. And then I was on the street, and then there were these girls, because I went to film later, and it looked like I could see the landscape now, the water just come down a little bit. And there were these girls like mucking about, and I was videoing, and as I was videoing them, I was able to slide with my feet as if, I don't know if it was water or some kind of sand, allowed me to slowly move, so the shot was really nice. So I was like panning as they were walking off, joking around with each other. And they had like a glow about them, as if I put a filter on. So like the filter where it comes with a white glow. And then they came back, and I was filming them as they came back, and then walking off, joking about, mucking about, as if it was. And it seemed I was going to say juxtaposed between the situation of the flooding, but I guess it's because it was showing me, like in a film, it's the end of the flooding, everyone's happy, like when the police turn up and everyone's having a party. And what else was happening in the house? I think that's when I woke up after that, thinking that now the water's coming down. But I remember in my head thinking, oh, I'm disappointed the water's coming down. But I remember before that I was thinking about the insurance, that I'm going to have to fill up all this insurance. And I was thinking, thank goodness I wasn't living in a flat. I think possibly the guy who came up the stairs and said I'm tired, he lived in a flat. Yeah. So that's probably why I was thinking about insurance, and thank goodness I'm not in a flat now, because that's relying on someone else. But now I was thinking about, I have to do all this paperwork to get all this insurance. Is it going to cover or not? Because I guess I didn't know what caused it. Yeah, no, the flooding was coming up high. Yeah, weird dream. So there you are, tooth coming out, and another flood dream.